Welcome everyone to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And on this Cricket Happening show, it's going to be the Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka, where Kusal Mendis today trying to hit a six to reach his maiden double century, missed out on a wonderful opportunity. But the other players, Niroshan Dickewalla, Kusal Mendis made 176. And Niroshan Dickewalla made 75 runs, and Dilruwan Perera went on to his third 50 of his test career as Sri Lanka amassed a total of 494. And the Bangladeshi openers gave themselves a good start with Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar posting 118 for the first wicket. And I would say Bangladesh did better here. But they lost Mominul Haq towards the end. LBW, which was a big blow for them, and they were kept at 133 for 2 at close of play. So that is as far as I'll be talking about that particular match. But while I'm talking to you, I can definitely tell you that on the second day's play between South Africa and New Zealand here at the University Oval in Dunedin, it's the innings break right now. With the South Africans having been bowled out by the Kiwis for 308. Today it was Dean Elgar who went on to score 140 runs, and also South Africa actually losing 6 wickets for 79 runs this morning. And Elgar was the top scorer. Temba Bavuma contributed, so one could say that Temba Bavuma got himself into some form after quite a long time. He has been struggling against Australia too, as you would remember, but now he has come out of the blocks and he did a good job as well. So South Africa 308 all outs. Right now we are at the innings break, so I'll be coming out and speaking about that. And tomorrow West Indies and England will be clashing in the final one-day international of the series, which is a mere formality, but for West Indies I would say it is still important, and the reason being that as you know, the West Indian coach Stuart Law is definitely his goal is already there. He has said that he is looking for automatic World Cup qualification, and tomorrow if at all the West Indies lose, they can salvage something, that's one. But also the good thing that could happen to the West Indies by winning that match tomorrow at Bridgetown in Barbados would be they are right now on 84 points and they are behind Pakistan, so they are the 9th place now in ODI rankings. But if they could get a win tomorrow, their points could lift up to 86. So basically it would be Pakistan who would be 9th and West Indies would be 8th in the ICC ODI rankings. And also West Indies' next opponents who would be meeting them is going to be Pakistan, as we all know. So let's start off. So let's get on first to the Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka match and see what really happened. So today they resumed at their overnight score with Kusal Mendis. Yesterday he had done a wonderful job for his team, and he and Niroshan Dickewalla were there at the center. And Niroshan Dickewalla, well, I have to say that he hit a wonderful six on the onside today when he started the innings. And Kusal Mendis was flowing along nicely. He also hit some sixes, but in an attempt to actually hit Mehdi Hassan Miraz for another six, he succumbed. Now that is something, according to me, very, very silly. It was impetuosity from the youngster, and I thought Mendis should have definitely been a bit cautious, because the public would have been waiting for his maiden double century. He disappointed everybody by going for a big hoik at the bowling of Mehdi Hassan Miraz when on 94. He probably tried to reach his double century by hitting a six, and in the process sacrificed his wicket as he was caught by Tamim Iqbal in the deep. He was gone for 194 with 19 fours and 4 sixes, but nevertheless a very wonderful knock from Kusal Mendis, which really gave a lot of impetus to this Sri Lankan innings, and Sri Lanka would be happy to have scored 494, but thanks in the main to Kusal Mendis. After that, Niroshan Dickewalla was joined in by Dilruwan Perera, and both actually, after the dismissal of Kusal Mendis, they decided to really combine well. They combined well. Dickewalla playing some very good unorthodox strokes as he's normally. But what was good about Dickewalla was that he was not wasting any time. He was getting runs pretty quickly. At the other end, Dilruwan Perera was also doing a very good job, and in the process, with the score on 432, it was Mehdi Hasan Miraz who was the most successful bowler for Bangladesh, who actually picked up the wicket of Niroshan Dickewalla after Niroshan Dickewalla contributed 75 useful runs with 6 fours and 1 6. Dilruwan Perera now got the company of Rangana Herath, but Herath contributed only 14. Mustafizur Rahman nipped his wicket, 14 with 3 boundaries. Suranga Lakmal was run out for 8. And after that, Dilruwan Perera had to take it upon himself. But Dilruwan Perera reached his third 50 of his test career, and then Mehdi Hasan Miraz had him LBW. We could not see a lot of turn on the pitch though. Sandakan was out for 5 and Lairu Kumara was not out on naught. And the Sri Lankan innings came to a halt at 494, and one thought that Bangladesh definitely did well to not allow them to actually go past the 500 mark, which would have been a psychological pressure on Bangladesh. Mustafizur Rahman, 25 overs, 5 minutes, 268. I thought he bowled well. Taskin Ahmed definitely did a good job. Subhashis Roy 1 for 103. Mehdi Hasan Miraz, as I said, bowled very well. 22 overs, 1 minute, 113 runs and 4 wickets. Now, when it came to Bangladesh reply to a score of 494, it was Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar who were opening the innings. And I have to say that Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar did not take any risk when Suranga Lakmal and Lairu Kumara was bowling. In fact, I would say Soumya Sarkar was very lucky. He was actually grasped. He was grasped of the bowling of Lairu Kumara, and Tamim Iqbal was grasped of the bowling of Suranga Lakmal by Niroshan Dickewalla behind the stumps. And they definitely got their chances, but after that we saw that Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar were watchful against the pace bowlers, and then slowly they started getting some edges for boundaries, and Tamim Iqbal played some very good strokes as well as this was going on. Then the introduction of spin started. Once the introduction of spin was done, with a lot of variety with Dilruwan Perera, Herath and Sandakan operating, it was not so easy in the sense they had to really be very, very careful. So, but Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar definitely bided their time at the crease, and they saw to it. They put up a good partnership. Soumya Sarkar also played some good strokes. Lakshan Sandakan got both Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar inside edging a lot of times. So that was a great encouragement for Sandakan, who probably was the best bowler from the Sri Lankan camp. And Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar then chiseled together a partnership of 118 runs for the first wicket. So definitely they put up a good reply, and with the score on 118, when Bangladesh were riding along very nicely, that was the time a thing which should not be happening in Test cricket happened, and that was Tamim Iqbal getting run out. But Dickewalla probably thought he had actually turned the ball, he didn't know where the ball was, and he tried to go for a run. He wandered outside the crease, and Dickewalla very smartly whipped off the bails, and Tamim Iqbal was a goner, run out for 57 with 6 boundaries. Mominul Haq came in, and he just came in just before stumps, I would say, because he came in with 6 overs to go in the day, and one does not know what was the reason Mominul Haq was sent. Probably they could have sent a night watchman, but they decided instead to send their very good test batsman Mominul Haq, and it resulted in Dilruwan Perera, the right-arm off spinner, trapping him LBW just before close of play for 7 to leave Bangladesh on a score of 133 for 2 at close. Soumya Sarkar did his job, not out on 66 with 7 fours and 1 6, and Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain, came out not out on 1. So Bangladesh still have a lot of things to do. They first need to get to the 294 target so that they can avoid the follow on. And I have to say, Lakmal bowled a very good line. 5 was none for 15, was a bit unlucky, one thought. Lairu Kumara 7 was none for 38. Dilruwan Perera did a good job as well. 13-3, 32 runs and 1 wicket. Rangana Herath 11 overs, none made and none for 30. But Sandakan, for me, was the one who troubled all the Bangladeshi batsmen with his wide variety of balls that he bowled. And Sandakan, the Chinaman bowler, 10 overs, 5 maidens, 17 runs and no wicket. So definitely Bangladesh, the work is just begin for Bangladesh. So they have to build it block by block and see to it that they really challenged the Sri Lankan total. As I said, there's not much turn on the pitch right now, but as a golf pitch, normally one reckons that with the third and fourth days, we would definitely see a change in the picture as far as the golf pitch is concerned, as has happened in the previous match histories. So that is as far as Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka is concerned. Now let's head to the match between New Zealand and South Africa. As I'm talking to you, I can tell you the match has just begun here in the first innings. The New Zealand are out here to bat, and I see that New Zealand have put 8 runs on the board in reply to South Africa all out for 308. Jeet Raval is 3, Tom Latham is 5, Philander and Rabada in action right now. So let's talk about the South African batting. As far as South African batting was concerned, yesterday, just talking briefly, the toss, as I already spoke about it, as I gave you the live cricket update with Cook and Amla, and they were in real trouble at 22 for 3. But after that, they got some good partnerships going. First was the partnership between Dean Elgar, who was the common factor there, along with du Plessis, putting on a very good partnership. In fact, they put 126 runs for the 4th wicket, with Dean Elgar looking supremely confident of all the batsmen as he was stroking the ball beautifully, and he was also getting closely into the line of the ball. I mean, he was really doing a wonderful job. He was playing the spinners well as well, and he was stroking the ball sweetly through the offside, and also he was simply looking very good. And after looking at Dean Elgar, one has a feeling that Dean Elgar could be, to me, he could probably in the future be the right replacement for the formerly wonderful player Graham Smith, the opener who has retired, and the captain too. So Dean Elgar, to me, is the one who probably, the way he has his batting stance, the way he actually plays, it definitely reminds me of the former South African player Graham Smith, the opener and captain of the successful the most successful captain of South Africa, Graham Smith. But Dean Elgar, well, he did a good job as well. As I said, he played a wonderful job. In fact, he was out only today for 140 runs with 24 boundaries. Look at that knock of his. He had 24 boundaries in a knock of 140. So that really tells you how quick he was with his stroke making. Du Plessis played a good part in the proceedings. He came in at a very, very crucial time and gave very good company to Dean Elgar, as du Plessis made 52 with 7 boundaries. Temba Bavuma, as you know, he has been struggling in the past, in the sense we have seen in the previous series he has been really, really struggling. But here Temba Bavuma really came good. He was the next one after du Plessis. The partnership from 148 for 4 when du Plessis departed, it was du Plessis was a victim. Let me also talk about that. Du Plessis was a victim of the bowling of Jimmy Neesham. In fact, Jimmy Neesham actually bounced him out. He bowled a short delivery, which du Plessis went and tried to swing him around, and Bolt took the catch, and du Plessis was out for 52. Temba Bavuma, as I said, walked into some very good form, which is good to see, because he has been struggling for a long time now, especially in the Australian series. He could not contribute, and he was really struggling. So, but he really, really came into his own today. And Temba Bavuma, well, he took his time to settle, but later on we saw Temba Bavuma play his strokes with absolute disdain, as he was very good on the offside. He was really getting to the pitch of the ball and nicely stroking it. But one saw that he was definitely shuffling towards the offside. And today Trent Bolt actually was the one who actually capitalized on that. So Temba Bavuma actually tried to play a ball from Trent Bolt, which was outside the off stump, and he actually went so far outside the off stump by shuffling that he left all the other stumps exposed. And Trent Bolt very smartly bowled a delivery, which Bavuma actually nicked it to wattling behind the stumps. But Bavuma would be happy, and South Africa would be happy for this effort from Bavuma, who contributed 64 with 10 boundaries. Look at the boundaries, 10 fours in the knock of 64, which was good to see. And Quinton de Kock, this was very well done. I thought Jitan Patel smartly bowled a delivery to Quinton de Kock. There was a man there waiting for Quinton de Kock's shot, and Neil Wagner took a good catch. It was a nice plow on the part of. They knew that Quinton de Kock likes to cut well. He's a good cutter of the ball, as we all know, and they actually had him on his favourite shot, the cut shot, caught by Wagner 10 with 1 boundary. Philander was clean bowled by Trent Bolt for 21 with 4 boundaries, and as I said, they really succumbed. They lost wickets pretty quickly, and they were wound up for 308. Keshav Maharaj made 5, being a victim of Bolt, and Rabada didn't know anything about this delivery from Jeetan Patel, as he was bowled for 4. Morkel was not out on not, and the South African innings coming to an end at 308. So, but nevertheless, there's still something in this game. And Trent Bolt picked up 4 wickets for 64, 3 for 88 for Neil Wagner, 2 for 85 for Jeetan Patel. Mitchell Santner remained wicketless, 18 overs 5 minutes, none for 32. Neesham got 1 for 34. And New Zealand, as I'm talking to you right now, they have advanced the score to 12 for no loss. Rabada and Philander are the ones as far as the bowling operations are concerned. So as I said, now we get off from here and talk about the third match in a very brief manner, and that is, as I've already said in my start of this show, that West Indies have to win it tomorrow. If they win it against England, not only are they salvaging something, but they are also taking the 8th place and displacing Pakistan by putting them into 9th place with 2 points. So that'll be interesting to see. And as you know, as I said, now West Indies would definitely be aiming at they'll be aiming at automatic World Cup qualification, because they have to hold to this position till the month of September. If at all, they need to have an automatic qualification for the World Cup. But I have to say that tomorrow again, the news is not good. The other day we saw on the second one-day international how important a role the player Shannon Gabriel was playing. As you know, Shannon Gabriel now is definitely turning into a prime strike bowler for the West Indies, and it is good to see. But unfortunately, he is ruled out of the final one-day international, which is going to be played at Bridgetown in Barbados, which is very sad. And Miguel Cummins has been summoned, I am told, or whether Alzari Joseph will get a place. One has to wait and watch. Alzari Joseph probably is the logical placement, and I'm told even Miguel Cummins has been roped in too, but one has to wait and watch. So West Indies would be hoping that they could get a victory, and whether tomorrow one is going to see the very talented Roman Powell in action in one day, as whether he will make his one-day international debut. One has to wait and watch, but one does not know what's on the minds of the West Indies. And England, well, what to say about England tomorrow? We are going to see Sam Billings will be dropped from the team as Alex Hales is fit, and Alex Hales and Jason Roy, as you know, they have forged many of good opening partnerships in ODIs, so that will also strengthen this England team to a great deal. Sam Billings was not really up to the mark. I mean, he could not really do something very good, I would say. Probably his consistency was lacking, but nevertheless, Hales is back. So, but one hopes that West Indies definitely crippled here. As I said, Shannon Gabriel is the prime strike bowler, and without Shannon Gabriel, I definitely am not giving West Indies much chance here. I would probably say that England are favourites tomorrow, because I think Shannon Gabriel plays a very good role nowadays for the West Indies. I'm told Kensington Oval surface is probably going to be much quicker because there has been heavy rainfall. I mean, as I said, there could also be a tinge of green, so that could probably interest the pace bowlers. That's it, dear fans and subscribers. I hope you all loved this cricket broadcast of mine, and I'll be back tomorrow to dwell on both the... before I go, let me give you an update on the New Zealand South Africa. Well, the score is 13 for no loss. I'll be back with a full match summary on that particular match, and also the Bangladesh and Sri Lanka match, and also the England-West Indies match. So till such time, I see you all tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. It's good night.